My family wants to reconnect after they shattered my life 6 years ago. I married my college sweetheart at 22. We raised 4 sons together. 26 years of what I believed was an unbreakable marriage. The only shadow was my brother. He'd been infatuated with my wife since high school. When we got engaged at 21, he cornered her at a party and begged her to choose him instead. She told me the next morning. I wanted to go no contact forever, but my parents pleaded for mercy. Blood is thicker than water, they said. He's young. He'll grow out of it. So I swallowed the rage and kept the peace. Over the decades he dated, showed up to our boys' soccer games and graduations, posted proud uncle photos. I convinced myself he'd let it go. I trusted him completely. Then one Monday in February, 6 years ago, I returned from a 10-day client audit overseas. I opened the front door to find my entire family lined up in the den. My wife, all 4 sons, and my brother perched on the arm of our sectional. Tears everywhere. The instant they saw me, my oldest started yelling. My wife's expression was pure fury. How could you do this to us? She demanded. Do what? Cheat, she spat. My knees nearly buckled. In 26 years, I had never so much as flirted with anyone else. I asked what proof she had. She shoved her phone at me. Explicit messages supposedly from me to a junior analyst in our regional office. Selfies of us in hotel beds in Denver, Dallas, Seattle. Dinner receipts from steakhouses I'd never visited. I was trembling. Those are fake. I swear on our boys' lives I've never cheated. That's when my brother cleared his throat. He said the analyst was an old grad school buddy of his. She'd broken down to him the week before, overwhelmed by guilt, and forwarded him the entire evidence package. Screenshots, geotagged photos, even a forged airline boarding pass. I collapsed onto the ottoman, sobbing, begging my wife to listen. I pointed at my brother and said he'd finally waited long enough to destroy us so he could have her. She slapped me so hard my hearing rang for days. My eldest son, 23 at the time, called me a liar and a coward. My second son said I'd poisoned our family. My third just kept repeating, "How could you?" through hiccuping sobs. Even my youngest, only 17, turned his face to the wall and refused to look at me. My wife told me to pack one bag and leave before she called the police. I tried phoning my parents from the driveway. They'd already gotten my brother's version. My dad's exact words: "If you ever cared about those boys, you'll sign the papers quietly and not make this uglier." For the next 9 months, I fought to prove my innocence. I drained $9,500 on a private forensic investigator who specialized in digital fabrication. He pulled my real phone metadata, travel itineraries, bank statements, nothing lined up with the planted evidence. But my brother had been meticulous. Deep fake level photo edits, spoofed numbers, a shadow Instagram account with years of backdated posts. It looked airtight. The divorce was final by November. I lost the house, the 401k equity, joint custody. I ended up in a one-room walk-up above a laundromat. 3 weeks later, my ex-wife married my brother in a backyard service my sons attended. On New Year's Eve, my oldest texted me one last time. "We have a real dad now. Don't contact us again." I unraveled, dropped 45 pounds in 10 weeks, lost my senior auditor position after too many unexplained absences, spent 18 months in intensive therapy just to remember how to shower and eat without wanting to disappear. My therapist gently prepared me for the possibility I'd never be believed. 5 years dragged by. I clawed my way back, landed a stable bookkeeping role at a mid-sized firm, rented a decent one-bedroom, started running again. At an industry mixer, I met a single mom widowed 4 years earlier with a 15-year-old son who loved baseball stats as much as I did. We married quietly at City Hall last spring. Her son now calls me coach and asks me to help with his fantasy league. For the first time in 6 years, I wake up feeling safe instead of hollow. Then 4 nights ago, 10:47 p.m., unknown caller. I almost let it ring out. It was my mother, voice cracking so badly I barely recognized her. Through choking sobs, she said they'd uncovered the truth. My ex-wife's analyst friend had a blowout fight with my brother over $18,000. He still owed her from some side investment. In her rage, she texted all 4 of my sons the full confession. Bank transfer receipts showing my brother paid her to stage the affair. The original unedited photos. The script he gave her for the guilty confession call. Screenshots of him mocking me in their private messages. My sons confronted him that same evening. He stonewalled for 4 hours before crumbling and admitting he'd orchestrated everything to free my wife from a marriage he believed she regretted. My ex-wife kicked him out at 2 a.m. and filed for divorce before sunrise. My mother begged me to come to the house. My sons, now 29, 27, 25, and 23, are wrecked. My oldest has a 3-month-old daughter I've never held. My second is planning a wedding next fall. They're all saying they were manipulated, that they should have listened, that they hate themselves for believing him over me. My parents want to sit down face to face and make amends. My ex-wife left a 3-minute voicemail apologizing for every word she said 6 years ago and saying she'll respect whatever boundaries I set. But I've rebuilt something solid here. My current wife knows the whole history. We talk about it openly when the pain surfaces. Her son has no clue his stepdad was once branded a cheater and banished by his own blood. He just knows I show up for every game, help with college apps, and never raise my voice. I finally have peace. My brother stole 6 irreplaceable years, my son's teenage milestones, my granddaughter's birth, every holiday, every ordinary Tuesday dinner. My parents sided with him without hesitation. My sons looked me in the eye and chose to believe the worst without demanding real proof. Part of me wants them to feel the same gut punch isolation I carried for half a decade. Part of me aches to hold that baby girl and tell my boys I never stopped loving them. I haven't answered my mother yet. I don't know if I ever will. Some wounds scar over strong enough that reopening them risks bleeding out all over again. Right now, the only family I'm certain won't destroy me is the one I built from the ashes they left behind.